So you would have seen.
Hello, viewers. Welcome to Vibing with Mr. Marvelous. Today, our guest, he's a legend in St. Lucia and a Hall of Famer in Florida. He's going to tell you all about that right now. Welcome to Zephrinus Joseph. Welcome to the Vibing with Marvelous. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, Prince.
So tell the viewers about yourself and why you're a legend in St. Lucia and the Hall of Famer in Florida, I heard.
Well, I said, my name is Zephrinus Joseph. I'm from the beautiful community of Monrepo, St. Lucia. 2004 Olympian, Le Piton gold medal awardee, Hall of Famer at the University of North Florida, and twice Sportsman of the Year in St. Lucia.
Excellent. Yeah. Love it. So University of North Florida, you're a Hall of Famer there.
Yeah, I went to school in North Florida in 2000. In 2000, after I left Central Arizona College in Central Arizona. And I guess based on my performance as an athlete at that school in 2017, I was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that in itself was a good achievement for me.
Mm-hmm. Love it. And in St. Lucia, you represented the Olympics. Which Olympic were you at?
Well, I went to the 2004 Olympics, and the opening ceremony was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me because it happened on my birthday, which is in the next couple of days, August 14th.
We got a birthday coming up. Yeah. Guess what? Lots of burpees, birthday burpees.
Yeah, so that was to me one of the best events because based on the alphabet in Greek, normally you don't see St. Lucia during the opening ceremony because of the size of our country, but because of the Greek alphabet and St. Lucia also being the Greek spirit of God in Greek mythology, they ended up putting St. Lucia first. So I was actually the first country. St. Lucia was the first country to walk in with me waving my flag, all my pearly whites out. So that was indeed one of the best experiences. I don't think it will ever happen to St. Lucia again anytime soon.
No?
Nah.
All right.
I know.
Because Olympics is coming up next year.
Next year in
Paris.
France.
Paris.
That would be
Paris, are you ready for St. Lucia? And hi, viewers, here's your question, your trivia question before we get deep into the legendary head. His mind was thinking, how many medals has St. Lucia won in the Olympics? St. Lucia do participate in the Olympics. How many medals have we won, St. Lucia won in the Olympics? We'll give you about 5 minutes to gather your answers. All right? So your event in the Olympics is?
Oh, I did the marathon. And
the marathon.
The marathon. I actually qualified in 2003, which was my first marathon. I did the Twin Cities Marathon, where I placed 6th, running a time of 2 hours, 16 minutes, which is actually our national record here.
2 hours?
16 minutes.
16 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's St. Lucia?
National record in marathon.
And the marathon is 26.1?
26.2.
Let's sorry.
Hey.
So 26.2 miles. That's roughly the length of St. Lucia.
Well, actually, in the old days, it would actually be from Castries to Viewfort, but with the new highway now,
right,
the bypass of Dennery, Monipo Village, Miku, it's now less than 26. But when the road used to go through the villages,
right, it
was 26 miles.
Wow.
So that's average from Castries to Viewfort.
In 2 hours and 16.
Hopefully, you don't get to encounter all the hills we have here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is. It was at that time. I mean, now you have guys running 2 hours flat for the marathon. So
right.
In that time, 2:16 was impressive, but now that's, I would say, probably goodish time.
Right. Compared to the Kenyans.
Compared to the Kenyans.
The Kenyans are the record holders right now, right?
The record is held by Ulige. Why am I forgetting my star name? He's one of the best. I don't know why I'm Kipchoge.
Kipchoge. Have you met him or?
Nah, actually, at 2004, actually, I met the marathon record holder. He was actually sitting right next to me on the bus. And I guess I put a lot of fear in me on that day. I was sitting right next to the marathon record holder, who was at that time Paul Turgat. It was about, I think it was 2 hours and 4 minutes around that time.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And the marathon runners, are they under 2 hours now, or what's the fastest time in the world now? Pardon my ignorance.
The fastest time in the world is 2 hours 1, which I said is held by Kipchoge, who has actually run under 2 hours, but it was
unofficial.
It was unofficial, where they actually had guys pacing him every 5K.
Okay.
You know, and he was the only one racing.
Right.
and had guys forming a barrier around him so they could break the wind speed and stuff like that. It was actually on a risk course, so everything was just set up so he could run 2 hours. He actually ran 1 hour I think 59, but it's not the official world record, but it's the fastest any human has ever
Right.
gone for the marathon.
That's still precedented
It is because he
on the
actually
2
had
hours.
to run, no matter how it was set up, he still had to run the whole mile, 26 miles. So I still consider it to be my world record.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is.
26.2 miles. So, what's the preparation like involved to such a big stage?
Oh, for the marathon, you have to put in a lot of miles. I remember my coach, George Young, who was when I was at Central Arizona. When I got to Arizona, he told me that no matter what we do during training, always try to run a second run, and on Sundays make sure you do a long run. So that has, for all my running life,
Right.
I've always tried to include a long run of 2 hours plus on a Sunday.
Okay.
Not right now though. Now
Right.
I want my chill.
Right. So a long run once a week or twice?
Once a week.
Once a week.
A long run.
More than 2 hours.
More than 2 hours.
Okay.
But during the week, you cut where you do your intervals, you do your speed workout, you do your tempo,
strength.
I've never been disciplined at the stretching and supplemental work I was supposed to do. And I guess I'm paying for it now because I've been suffering with a calf injury for the longest while.
Right.
Yeah. So, but those things, if you want to be one of the best in the world, you have to be disciplined and do those things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Stretching.
Stretching.
All
important.
my Olympians stretching.
And I'm learning now, based on my age, that it is important. So get to it.
And not just Olympian, anybody out there,
life,
no matter what you do, you wake up in the morning, stretch. At nights, stretch.
Do yoga, something.
Yes, yes,
yoga
do the yoga. Yeah. What's the mental key for? Because you run by yourself, it's just you and time, and you out there. What do you think of? Like,
I guess for me,
because nowadays, sorry to cut you, but people get bored fast and the attention span is so quick now.
No, I think most times when you're out there running, you tend to solve all your problems. You know, start to think of things and answers to problems just come out because you're out there. Depends on where you're running.
Right.
For me, I normally run up in a maho, which is basically very forested. It's very forested.
Okay, very forested.
So it's pretty calm. And I'm always there by myself. So I'm always thinking of. And when I'm out running something, I'm just imagining that I'm in a race. You know, I always think, oh man, I'm about to win a gold medal.
Right.
I'm about to win this. And then, you just you do things to keep you entertained. And even when you're at the point where you're exhausted, I'll use poles. If I'm running and there's a vehicle behind me, I say, okay, I'm going to try to get to this pole before this vehicle. So you play little games. You keep yourself occupied. Occupied.
All right, viewers, time for your answer. Time is up. So we ask you how many medals, it could be bronze, silver, or gold, how many medals St. Lucia has in the past Olympics. And drum roll. The answer is 0. Not as yet.
Hopefully, we're depending on we have 2 star athletes right now in St. Lucia. We have young Alfred and Mr. Joseph. They both head into world champs this year. So we're looking for something good out of them. We're depending on them. My time has been.
You heard it. Those 2 names. We're depending on you to get those 2 first medals.
Yeah, we have back home we have a young crop of athletes coming up. It's up to the government and people of St. Lucia to really support them and spend some money.
Definitely.
Money. Let's show those kids that we're interested in whatever they do, and show them the support.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we rooting for y'all and down in Lock Identity, all my Olympians and future athletes. If you're looking for a place to train for strength, come down to the Marvelous Motivation Health and Wellness Center in Lock Identity. We'll take care of you for complimentary. So that's a gift to the athletes in St. Lucia. Come on down. All right, back to this young man here. So at University of North Florida, that's in Jacksonville. The north east panhandle of Florida up there towards the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, well, yeah. Jacksonville is actually the biggest city land-wise in states, but not as populated.
So you went to school there?
I went to school
4 years?
No. I transferred from Central Arizona. I first went to Central Arizona in 1998.
Arizona in the house?
Yeah, and it's
The
funny though that
Devils
yeah.
or
No.
not that big?
Central
Okay.
Arizona.
Central, smaller.
Get it correct, young man. I'm a Vaqueros. Vaqueros.
Sorry,
See,
Devils.
the funny thing,
Sun Devils.
the,
You're not welcome here.
the funny thing about it is that we were at junior college, and then when we go to track meets, we'll go to Arizona. Sun Devils. We'll go to the other one,
The big one,
University of
yeah.
Arizona.
University
That's
of yeah,
oh, how,
yeah.
Dominic Johnson. Please forgive me. I'm forgetting your mascot. And we would actually beat those guys as a junior college. You know, we had Kim Collins, who was one of the guys who won in 2003, won the World
Correct.
Champs 100
That's a great
meters
name. Yep.
from St. Kitts.
Yep.
You know,
Very
we had
popular
a
name.
lot
Yeah.
of Jamaicans, and the community, our Caribbean community was pretty strong. We used to go to those schools, and whenever they hear Central Arizona, those four-year colleges, Arizona and Arizona
University of
State,
right. Arizona State. Yeah.
Chamberlain, you know. But it's a funny story how I got to Central Arizona.
Share with
Yeah,
us.
I actually met Dominic Johnson. Thank you, man. That's my brother.
Okay.
He actually a pole vaulter for St. Lucia. Went to the Olympics at least 5 times, you know, but he went there a few times. In '98, I met him in at the CSC Games in Cartagena,
Okay.
Colombia, and then I told him I was interested
In Colombia.
Yeah,
Cartagena.
yeah.
Okay.
I was interested in coming to the States to school. Then he went and he spoke to the not Central Arizona College coach Mike Gray. Now that same year, 1998, if you remember that they had this bomb at the embassy in Nairobi, the
Yes.
US embassy.
Yes.
There was
Yes.
actually a
I think
Kenyan.
there's a movie about that. Yeah.
There was actually a Kenyan on his way to the school to the embassy to get his visa. And that
Wow.
same while he was on his way, they bombed the embassy. So everything
Right.
they just transferred everything
Yeah.
to me, you know.
Wow.
So
Blessings.
like they said, whatever
Blessings.
is yours, what I don't carry.
It's
So
true. Yeah.
I've always thanked Dominic for that, and I respect Dominic. We have this brotherhood from then, you know. And when they did the best, broke a few national records of there. Then after 2000, I transferred to
You transferred 2 years. 2 years or
2 years,
okay.
yeah. Because as I said, it was a junior college, like Sahafa.
Right. Correct.
2
Okay.
years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the easy thing about it is that when you go to at that time when you're at a junior college, you don't need to write SATs. I had my SAT score,
Right.
but I did not need to present them to
Yes.
go to a junior college.
Yes.
So that's one of the ways you could have actually bypassed writing SATs. You could have
Yes.
gone to a junior college, do
Correct.
2 years,
Start
and then
there.
transfer.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
great and
Yeah.
transfer
If you're
to.
not that good in school, you go to college.
Yes.
But then at those universities, you always get people to help you. They always tutors. They always
Yes.
help centers. So if you're really into your academics, you could get your work done right now.
So you left Arizona. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You
sweet
went to
Arizona.
Florida,
Yeah.
and you broke more records in Florida.
Yeah, I broke my 1500-meter record.
1500.
I said the marathon, the 10K, the 5,000. Basically, all records from the 1500 up in St. Lucia is owned by me. So I probably have at least 11 national records. I'm hoping that some young guy is going to get up and start breaking some of my records because I love my records, mind you.
Right.
I mean, if nobody's breaking, it means that we're not really improving as we're supposed to.
As a school.
Yeah, distance.
In the school. Right.
Well, not really in the school. I'm in the national St. Lucia.
Right.
Yeah, the records in at the
Florida.
school have been broken every year by top.
Okay.
Because right now we went from a Division 2 to a Division 1. So we're getting a lot of top quality athletes at UNF right now. So they're doing pretty well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And so you said in St. Lucia, your records are not being broken in St. Lucia by the younger generation.
None has been broken so far.
What do you think is the reason?
I don't think the support for long distance running is there. I think I've always said that people in St. Lucia we predominantly sprint. I'm not anywhere I'm hitting on the top sprinters now.
Right.
But you go to a track meet in St. Lucia and you'll get at least 15 hits of 100 meters.
Because that's the demand.
It's like everybody has sprinters.
Trained for it,
because
right.
100 meters is really the glorious sport. No matter how well you
It
do.
is. Same in the Olympics. That's the
It's
creme de la
100
creme.
exactly.
That's what
So,
the TV, the crowd, that's what everybody gets. Yes.
yeah. You know, I mean, it's classic example. We have this young lady who's doing pretty well right now in the 100 meters. And all of a sudden, everybody in St. Lucia, they're paying attention to track and field. You understand? Which is good. Now she's sponsored by Puma. She's probably not the first. Lavin Spencer did get some sponsorship, but she's doing pretty well. And then we are really banking on her
Right.
to medal at Olympics. People are not even really interested in the World Champs. It's more the Olympics. And mind you, the Olympics is not something where you get paid. You get paid at World Champs, not at the
Right.
Olympics.
Right.
But the Olympics, the prestige you get when
Correct.
you win,
Yes.
it's the Olympics. So we're actually banking on young Alfred and Mr. Michael Joseph and on the others who hopefully will qualify for the Olympics.
And I guess the Olympics was designed for the best of the best. And the reason you don't get paid, I guess, for the Olympics is because
It's considered to it's considered to be when it was considered to be an amateur for amateurs,
right,
which has changed because mostly everybody competing at Olympics are
correct,
Olympians.
yes, the best of the
Basically,
best.
for you to compete at the Olympics, you have to be a professional.
Yes,
Because the standards right now are ridiculous, man. I don't think I would even qualify right now. It's everything has been changed. Thanks God, it was not during my time, so we would not be here
yes.
talking as an Olympian. But yeah, but
And I guess the Olympic realize if you win a gold or something, that all the endorsements or the money
yeah, all
comes
the
after.
endorsements your country pay you,
Correct.
because most athletes, most of the top athletes, and most people who medal at the Olympics are the top athletes. So in their contract, there's something in their contract in their sponsor that okay, if I go to the Olympics and I win a gold medal, that's an extra 100 grand.
Yes.
Your country they will then give you something. They give you a land, they give you a house because they honor you in a way.
Right.
So then your name right now, when somebody asks you to come to an event, your appearance fee might be in a million, not a million, like $100,000 just to appear. Not to mention if you win the prize money as a winner. So your name gets up there. Like I mean, when you ever even hear Bolt, for Bolt to show up at some event, it must cost some money.
Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly.
Appearance
So,
or
yeah, so your name gets there, and that's really I get the aim. Most people when they go to the Olympics to win and to achieve, get something out of it. You know?
love it. And so life after Olympics, you still train? Do you still compete locally in St. Lucia?
I guess in 2014 I got injured with I got a calf injury, and I never did what I was supposed to do.
Right.
Because I said I've never been that disciplined when it comes to injury and stretching and
Stretching.
strengthening. So this has affected me. So now at my old age, I'm basically doing it for fun. We have a group of us who that decided that every year we're going to do a marathon in a foreign country. Our first marathon was France.
Okay.
We did Paris in 2021, and last year I didn't travel, but the guys went to Holland.
And they all marathon runners. They all
Yeah, I
okay.
had got my best friend Jason Sears who feared the marathon distance, and now the guy is a superstar as a master, training every day. I'm actually jealous of what he has been able to achieve, and I'm watching
Right.
that right now. I don't train like I'm supposed to, and he is my motivator. Someone I was pushing to come on, man. You need to
Right,
do the
right.
marathon. You need to do the marathon, and now he's the one telling me, Zeph, you need to train. Zeph, you need to get up and train. You need to get up and train. So basically, our 75 8 group consists of about six guys. So we
Okay.
just try
All
to
from
travel.
St. Lucia.
All from
Okay.
St. Lucia, basically Winsbert Sylvester, Michael Bissett, Jason Sayers, Julian Toussaint, Zephanius Joseph, that's me,
Right.
and Neville Dupree. We also have another guy, Ali Sentage. One, two guys do come in at times. But miss because the core is really the six of us, and I'm a Gerard Charles.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Like I
definitely.
said, it's just to travel and have fun. Enjoy it as
Definitely.
yeah.
I might try a marathon one day. I
You
might.
should, you should, you
I've
should.
done a half. I've done half a marathon one time, but I've never run a full marathon because growing up I was a sprinter. So
You should.
I was 100 meters, 200, 4x1 relay, 4x4. That was my event, but I never was the long distance. I never tried it.
That's the funny thing. The funny thing is that my first event ever
Yes.
was a 400 meters. And
Which is still a tough race.
I
It's very
placed last.
technical.
I came in dead last. That was my first running event, the 400 meters. I was actually the replacement on my school team, not my school team, my house team at Nico Secondary.
Okay.
I was eating my ice cream and the coach calls, hey, boy, the next man is not running, come and run. And I started first. I'm up front. And last lap, I'm checking, I'm like, dead last. So but it was fun, man. It has been a remarkable journey. Places I've been, I don't think I would have visited those countries if I were not an athlete. I don't think the family I'm from,
Right.
not that rich to see my
Correct.
family would have been able to support me. I grew up in a single parent family. Yes,
Right.
I was part of an extended family.
Right.
So my uncles and
Correct.
then my mother moved another old home. I was there with my mother all the time. My mother thanks to that lady. So I don't think that my family would have been able to afford to finance me. My mother has always supported me. When I left school, my mother never was on my back to go get a job. She saw I was interested in my running. We were banana farmers, and I would help her on the banana farm.
Right.
I actually left. I got a job once for about 8 months, and I left it to go help my mother on the farm.
On the farm.
Because I was the only son, so so she never pushed me out of the house to go get a job. Oh, besides to have, you need to go work.
Right.
But she supported me. She will not watch me run. She always says she cannot watch me run. She always close her eyes and whatnot. She cannot watch me run. But my mother has been my supporter, my family, and my community of Monipo has really been. Those people really pushed me when I was in my
prime and
in my prime.
Monrepo, mommy,
Yes.
great job for the support. And I want to know why you couldn't watch it run. Were you nervous? Were you just?
I guess that's the reason.
Because I know, like, some people, when they significant other is taking part, they can't because the knots start kicking and they just get excited or they can't. The nerves kicking and they can't watch their family or significant other.
I guess the support has always been there from Monipo, man. And Monipo was known, still
Right.
known as a sporting community.
Definitely.
Even if it was more cricket, because we were the best at cricket. Now we probably like West Indies, but
the West Indies.
I wouldn't go so far. I still watch them when they.
Correct. Yep. They're still
but-
there. Still there.
yeah,
And I believe life is up and down, right?
Up and down. Hopefully we'll
Like,
be back
yeah.
up there. Yeah.
It's never that flat, perfect plateau.
Never,
There's that.
Never.
We learn, we grow. We learn, we grow.
We learn and we grow.
Love it. And you said you traveled during your
In my
athlete
early days,
top
yeah.
days. What country were you like, wow, like I love what was the top country? One country like really impressed you?
Surprisingly, I've always found that Martinique, which is like 15 minutes away from
So
us.
Martinique, the French island
Yeah,
Martinique.
I've always been that I could travel for like 15 minutes and then when I reach to Martinique, it's like I'm in a totally different area and I've only traveled for 15 minutes. And I think it's more because that Martinique is still under the government, still owned by France. So everything there is like the Prime Minister once said that when you go to Martinique, you're in Europe, which is true. When you get to Martinique, it's like, did I just leave St. Lucia like 15 minutes ago and I'm in this developed country? And the way the people respect me over there, I've always felt a love for that country. So Martinique is like my second home. I love America though, man.
Right.
I love America. I love the choices and things you could get in the States, but I cannot stay there for too long. I'll go there for like 2 weeks. The longest I've stayed there actually is 1 year.
1 year.
I've never stayed for. When I was at school, I would go home every break, and then 1 year I couldn't afford it. I had to stay, and I was like, I spent a white Christmas in the States. Yeah, but I like the States, but Martinique is my favorite
Martinique,
country.
all your travels around the world.
All around.
Greece,
Martinique,
doesn't matter
Greece.
where.
No,
you love
Martinique. I love all those countries. I have no bad experience when I travel. But Martinique, based on the respect and the way the people treat me there, I would say is if I have an option to go somewhere else right now, Martinique would be it. And it's only 15 minutes away.
Definitely,
so
it is.
I could swim back home if I
Yeah, we could see Martinique on a clear day. Yeah.
So it's Martinique, man.
So what's your hobbies? Like Olympics is gone, and now what's your hobbies? What do you like doing now?
I consider myself to be a farmer.
A farmer, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, man. I've always had this dream of being a farmer. When I left secondary school, my uncle, who was like my father, is actually my godfather, Joseph. I asked him for like $300, and I bought myself 100 layers, chickens. I built my cage. And I reared my chicken. And when they were at the age ready to lay, when I could make some money, I couldn't get feed anywhere in St. Lucia.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to let my birds loose because I couldn't feed them. I had no feed, giving them rice. And that was at the stage to lay when I would get at the point where I'll be making some money.
Yes.
And I've always had, and it stopped there. Then I went to, like I said, I went to school in the States. But then I've always had the dream of owning a chicken farm. But right now I'm more into bananas and plantains. I'm trying to redevelop my grandfather's farm because we were banana farmers.
Okay.
So I'm trying my best to just we can have this 11 acres of land and it's like just there with just trees. So right now, my goal in life is to set up this farm. I'm going to call it the Kayak Clive Farm because there is this huge mountain on our boundary.
Yes.
And my grandfather's name is Clive. And they call the mountain Kayak Clive.
Yeah.
Mountain Clive. So basically, it'll be Kayak Clive Farm. That is my goal in life. Like I tell people, if I probably didn't have bills to pay right now, I'd probably be on my
farm. Full-time
farm
on the farm.
Yeah, I mean, we probably need more markets, and that's probably where the government could help the farmers because sometimes you plant stuff and it just goes to waste because the market is not really there. But that's that. Like
I see that I drive around the island and I see lots of fruit, like mangoes, breadfruit.
Well, for the mangoes, our problem with mangoes, we have this what they call the borer, and to import those, you really need to get control of those borers.
Okay, so that's why the market is not.
So the market is not for you to import those. You must take care of
clean
that. Yeah, Yeah.
All right, certified and making sure there's
Yeah.
no. Okay,
Yeah. So I
interesting.
know we have this borrow issue in St. Lucia because even if you eat a mango and you cut open the
Right.
seed, if you eat 5 mangoes, probably 2 or 3 you will get a borrow in
Wow.
there. You know,
Interesting.
it is. It is. You know,
Wow.
remember when you were growing up, you take a mango and you
Yeah.
get it all soft and just suck it.
Yeah.
Ah man, it will not. I will not tell anybody to do this right now.
Okay, because yeah,
Yeah.
I still do it sometimes. 'Cause-
Nah, I'm not. I'm not. Only if you buy a mango in the States because
right.
to import into this first world countries, there
Right.
are standards.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are
Correct.
standards. You must
Yes.
meet the standards. So,
Yes.
but like I said, that the dream is to be to have a farm. It may
And
not be one which is bringing in a bunch of money, but the fact that it is there
correct.
and it is somewhere I could go and just clear my head of everything. Because when I'm on my farm planting, it's like,
Being with nature, right?
yeah,
You
man,
become one
and
with nature.
it is
That
so quiet. And then at the end, when you reap what you sow, it's like it's the feeling I have. My vocabulary is weak. I have no words in my vocabulary that could describe that feeling I get when I reap my plantains. I eat some yam. I take them to my mother, and my mother prepare this, and while I'm eating, I eating from food I produce. It's just
that
out of this
feel
world, man.
good
Yeah,
goosebump.
man. Yeah,
That
man.
wow.
Yeah,
Like
man. It's like I did this. You know,
yeah.
I did this.
Because I know agriculture is kind of dying in St. Lucia a little bit.
It
Because the
it
tourism
is.
is the focus is tourism right now.
Yeah, tourism is our main industry, but without agriculture, you basically nowhere. You know, I mean, they're trying to the banana industry,
Correct.
which I would tell people that okay, I'm planting bananas. People are like "You're planting bananas. Like I grew up as a banana farmer, and my love for bananas is just I don't know, it's out of this world. So even if I have a farm, I will have at least 500 banana trees.
I believe in that
I
because
just
food is a
yeah
staple in a way. Everybody
yeah,
needs food.
and I just love bananas. There's just something about bananas. When you have a nice piece of bananas, well taken care of, and they're producing, it's out of this world, man. You know.
I
So
love it. And I believe in your dream. I believe in the passion you have for
oh
agriculture.
yeah, oh yeah,
Keep it up.
I will.
Because nature is very important. Because we go. How do we recharge? And part of it is that escape, whatever that escape is, and being out there, becoming one, is a great way of recharging. And as you said, you get that wow factor
Yeah, wow, factor, man.
going on. So you're
You
gonna
know.
stick on bananas, any dasheen yams or
Oh yeah, yeah.
pineapples. Are you gonna diversify a little bit?
I'm trying to get as much as those crops that don't require water because I'm not close to a water source.
Okay,
Our land is very waterlogged. It do contain water, but it doesn't have a source to see where you could pump water.
correct.
We're about
Irrigation and stuff
yeah,
is
we're
not
about a mile and a half from a river. And that
right.
costs a lot to get water up. So I try to get the crops that don't really rely on water, too much water. So pineapple, yes. I'm actually trying to get my cousin to get me some plants. So I'm looking at pineapples, yam, dasheen, because I said our
Yeah,
land is waterlogged, so you could plant dasheen, plantains for sure, bananas and plenty that I have now, and a few citrus trees. Because my grandfather had a bunch of citrus trees,
yes.
and when he died, all of them died with him.
Wow,
I don't know why my grandfather did that. He took all
wow,
his oranges with him. So I'm trying to
crazy.
put them back so that kids, our grandkids, when they'll have somewhere they could go, okay, I could go to my uncle's farm. I could go to that farm and get an orange. When you come down, you could check me for an orange. You
I
know?
love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
man. You could
Love it.
vibes. All marvelous something.
Yes, that's what we do. Vibing and marvelous. And
Vibing.
anyway, if you're curious where we are in an old sugar mill factory. So San Lucia used to be a big sugar production area. So these ruins you see behind us, around us, is a
Although,
four-door part of St. Lucia. It's an old sugar mill plantation we are right now. If you had to change one thing with the agriculture system in St. Lucia, one thing, I know you could change like 100 things. What would that be?
I guess if I had to change anything, I think really it will have to do with the marketing.
The marketing to find markets
But then,
so
yeah, to
the
find
locals could
markets,
sell.
yeah, because I believe if there are markets, probably the young kids will then get interested in agriculture. Because the problem for us is that agriculture is always seen as people who are not educated. And that's I think that's where our problem started in St. Lucia because
Right.
the farmers used to be at one point in time used to be the richest people in St. Lucia.
Correct.
But because that you will see them in town hall with their old stained clothes, all
Yes.
dirty, people just assume that you're not educated.
Yeah.
So that's why you're into farming.
Yeah.
You know?
Very
So
true.
to me, that's the market. I mean, we used to have the banana market in the early 90s, but because of that World Trade Organization
Correct.
law,
Yep. Yep.
they
It
brought
really.
in,
Yes.
people don't know the history, but that's really where it
Yeah,
started.
it's true,
You
and
know,
it messed up
so
our banana
so we
market.
really
Yeah.
don't have the market to England now, and now
Yeah.
the standards, the quality you need to provide because I mean, in St. Lucia, it costs us. Let's say if it costs you $100 to produce one box of banana,
Definitely.
in Central America, it costs them like 5 cents.
Very true.
Because it's
Yeah,
flat,
different.
everything.
And
Yeah.
flat, and
So
they own the whole farm.
yeah, so
Unlike
me
St.
is
Lucia, the locals own the
own
farm,
the farm,
not the big
not the big
corporation.
corporation. Yeah.
Love it.
So me is just get markets for our produce. Markets.
I'm going to go back to Olympics.
Yeah.
If you had to change one thing in St. Lucia with the way the Olympic Committee or the way we train, what would that be?
Pet peeve, man. That question. So people might not even, people who are into the sports, Olympic
Right.
sports, might not even want to ask me that question because
It's a lot.
To me, it would have to be support.
More support.
Growing up as an athlete in St. Lucia, when I was an athlete in St. Lucia, people used to see St. Lucia. St. Lucia is only 248 square miles.
Correct, small
and
island.
People used to see as, if you're from Manipur, you're from the country. If you're
Right.
from Castries, you're from the city. And
Right.
St. Lucia for me is country everywhere.
That's right. It
You
is.
understand?
It
So then
is.
you will get that where if you're from the countryside,
Right.
they're going to discriminate against you. Because I found myself in a situation where I came from Olympics in 2004. I qualified. I never went to the Olympics as a wild card.
Right.
I qualified.
Right. You put in the work. You do
Yeah.
it dedicated. Yeah.
And then the following year, I presented an application to my association to apply for Olympic Solidarity, which allowed me to train more, go somewhere and
Right.
just train. And they never applied. But there were some athletes there was an athlete who left,
Right.
went to the Olympics and told him that she was done with it. And they hurriedly applied for a scholarship for her so
Right.
she could stay in it. And the following month or so, she got a job in Texas and she left it. But so the discrimination, just see St. Lucia
Right.
as one. Let's stop
Absolutely.
treating people as I'm from the north,
Correct.
you're from the south. We're all St. Lucians, and if you're talented, we put the money behind you and we support you. That's
so
it.
basically, look at talent, not
Yes, not
where
where
you're
you're
from,
the talent.
or your economic status.
Yes, and support you. You're good at boxing, you're good at football, you're good at track, you're good at cricket.
Support
we
the talent.
You. It's not because you're from
The
Manipur.
skill. Correct.
I'm not going to support you because you're from Soufre, you're from
I love it.
Beaufort.
There you have it,
You're a
viewers.
St. Lucian. Support. Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time. Thank you for vibing. But
it was indeed a
any words of encouragement for future athletes and anybody thinking of the younger generation, thinking of going into farming and
yeah, like I was speaking earlier on today, I guess all I have to do with your discipline. If you want to do something, just put your mind to it and you do everything that's legally right. If you have to get up at 5 to train, you get up at 5 to train. Whatever your coach tells you to do, you follow your coach. That's the reason why the person is your coach. Listen to people, follow advice, good advice, and just dedicate your life to whatever it is you want to do. You want to be a pilot, never say, oh, I'm from a poor family, I can be a pilot. Like they say, I get one of the presidents of the states, the last president of the states, what's his name? Donald Trump didn't go to high school, only went to high school, he never went to college, and he ended up being the president of the United States. So if you believe in it, you could speak it into existence.
Love it.
Just speak it into existence.
There you have it from a fellow Olympian, record breaker, a legend in St. Lucia, and a Hall of Famer in Minnesota, North Florida. Thank you for vibing with Mr. Marvelous.
It was indeed a pleasure.
For being on the show. Appreciate you.
Pleasure,
love.
Always a pleasure, man.
Viewers, thank you. We appreciate you. And remember, be
marvelous. Indeed.